Hi there, stampers and crafters, and welcome to our online class. Today we're going to be making a beautiful set of Wintry Woods cards. These cards are a combination of cards created with the October Winter Woods Paper Pumpkin Kit and also with the still scenes and snow globe dies. And I also threw in a little Winter Woods and Into the Woods sets as well here in case you didn't have that paper pumpkin kit because it is sold out. So whenever it's sold out, I like to make alternates to the alternate so that you can see some other ideas and you can create it even if you've used up your kit or don't have it. Aren't these beautiful? I really had a lot of fun making these. And I have a few people inspired me on some of these designs. I have them listed on the resource page, which is now up at stampwithtami.com, and you can get there by clicking on the link in this video's description. So if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it is your one-stop shop for creativity. It is an awesome crafting box, and it's just everything's included in here. You get it once a month. You want to sign up by the 10th of every month to get that month's kit. The one that we're playing with right now, we're making alternate projects for this. This is actually what it's showing here is what the kit comes with and what the kit actually made. They were beautiful cards. I have another video that you can see on the resource page here that I created these cards right out of the box. So today we're doing something a little different with them. And if you have this kit and would like to download the free PDF insert for the stamp case, you can store all of your Paper Pumpkin stamp sets that come in these kits right along the shelves with your regular stamps. So that's kind of a nice little add-on there because when you get these exclusive stamp sets in the box, you want to keep them up there with yours. This is another great way to get started with crafting because you get a stamp set in every kit, you get ink, you get everything you need, and then you can collect on your supplies. While we're talking about it, deadline's coming up for November's kit, which is going to coordinate with the October one we're playing with today. And you're going to want to get this one. We already knew October's was amazing. So, and I see a few of you missed out on the kit. Don't miss out on November's because you're gonna love it just as much. And we'll also be playing with alternates there too. If you did miss out on this kit, or if you used all of yours and now you're wishing you hadn't so you could make some alternates with it, I'm giving 4 of these away. I have 2 that I'm doing live and 2 that I'll give away on November 22nd. All you need to do to enter is leave a comment on the video. And if you share the video and type the word shared into the comments, you'll be entered a second time into that after live drawing. So it is holidays. We are creating lots of holiday projects, cards, and gifts. And so I have something for you as a gift to you. It is absolutely free, and I call it my holiday helper. We do this every year with our Stamp It team. I have a design team put together. We create 12 projects and we do 12 days of Christmas. And you get a free tutorial every day. This has started, but it's not too late to sign up. Just go to stampwithtami.com or click on the resource page and you'll find the sign up there. You can sign up. It is absolutely free and there are some amazing ideas here to get your juices flowing for the holiday season. All right, so you guys ready to do some stamping? So these are the cards we're going to be making, and you don't need to have the kit. Again, I have some substitutions here for you if you didn't have this kit or you used all of yours. I love the little special edition box. The November one's going to have one of those too. This is the actual card that the kit made right out of the box. It makes these cards. We're going to use these pieces. We're going to repurpose them and make something else out of them. I even came with these cool little envelopes. I'm going to repurpose these 2 today. Hey. Nothing goes to waste. And then the box also has the instructions. But again, I have a video showing you how to make it as well as a little bit about part 2, which is the November kit, which as of today, you only have 3 days left to sign up for if you want that one. So here's our set of cards. And we're going to start with this one. And we'll work our way into snow globes and more fun. This one here, I just started with the pieces that are in the Paper Pumpkin kit. I also have a free PDF tutorial for it includes a little bit on all of these cards here, and it's got all the measurements for everything that I'm doing today. It's got all the supplies that we're using here today, and I added each card that we're creating and substitutions for it if you didn't have the kit or just wanted to do something a little bit different with it so that you can go a little bit outside the box. Now, I'm using Paper Pumpkin, the kit on this one, but I do have on that free PDF suggestions that you could alternate to do to create this card. with some other supplies. So you'll get this, you can get this free PDF on my resource page, stampwithtami.com. You can either click on the video classes tab, or if you're watching this video, just click on the link in the video. It brings you right to this page. I like to make things easy for you. And I like you to be able to find stuff easily. All right, lots of fun with this one. So I did something a little different here with the envelopes. They came with these really adorable envelopes. I actually am repurposing this one. Just gently kind of disassembling it, because inside it had this fun little pattern. And if you didn't have the kit or ran out of these envelopes and didn't have any left, the Petal Promenade Designer Series paper, I know, look at it, right? Doesn't look like it would go with the set at all. But when you flip it over to the alternate side, we've got this beautiful wood that's very, very similar. So you could substitute this from the Petal Promenade Designer Series paper if you didn't have that. All right, next up, breaking out my brand new paper cutter. Who's excited about this? I am. So the new paper cutter is now available in my online store. And if you're wondering what's different about this from our previous model, I actually have an entire comparison on the two, and also the top 5 features on this paper cutter. So you can get to that by clicking on the link in this video's description. Rita says this is one of the best paper pumpkin kits ever. I agree. This is it's up there with my list. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the paper pumpkin, taking the envelope that came in the paper pumpkin, or the designer series paper, or if you had wood grain paper from last year's catalog, and then I'm just cutting. I'm literally just cutting it. The first couple of pieces, the first 2 edges, just cutting off the top and the bottom. But then I'm going to measure this so that the long side is 5 inches and the short side is 3 3/4 inches. Oh, we got lots of love for this new paper trimmer. I hear you. It's got, you know what, and this little arm here that comes out. It's got measurements here to the 18 inches, so that little arm is actually longer. And I have not peeled the plastic topping off of mine. I'm just gonna point, because a couple people asked me about this. When these they come with this clear protective coating just to keep it from getting scratched in handling. You want to take that off, or you're gonna get this. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything to leave it on there, but it's not necessary to leave it on there. So I just wanted to point it out because people have asked about that. Okay, so next up, we're going to do some embossing. So I've just got a tag from the kit here. You could use a label tag from any kit, or just cut your own if you wanted to. I'm going to take the embossing buddy. This is my, if you forget this step, you will regret it, because it keeps down all of the static off of this, so you don't have embossing powder where you don't want it, because the static tends to hold it there in places you don't want it. All right, so next up, I'm just going to take a little piece of scrap paper here and put it underneath, because I'm going to stamp right off the edge here. Now, on my original, and I kind of did this by accident, but I'll just point it out. I thought I had clear embossing. I mean, I thought I had white embossing powder when I started doing the snowflakes, and it turned out I had clear. So I thought, oh, well, let's just leave them here. So I have like little shadows underneath the white of clear on my original. It actually came out pretty cool, but it was an accident. I'm not going to do the clear today. I'm just going to do the white. But if you like that, you could, do that as well. So we've got some Versamark here. How many things do you cut that is 17 inch? Occasionally, Rita, I do. I mean, not our scrapbooking paper only comes to 12 inch, but yeah, I do have things that are longer than that. And I used to have to cut them up the side. It's not often, but it happens. Okay, so let's take that snowflake. This is from the Paper Pumpkin kit stamp set, but I do have a substitution listed for snowflakes. I'm randomly stamping this. Hold on. I'm going off the edge on purpose. I like that look. And then we're going to stamp the words on that tag. And I'm going to repurpose that same paper to hold my embossing powder. Welcome aboard, everybody. I see we have a bunch of you on there. We are filming this live. The replay will be up on YouTube, and it will stay on Facebook forever and also on my blog. If you're new, be sure to subscribe to whatever social media you happen to be watching this on. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you get notified of all of my upcoming classes. I do have a list of them on my stampwithtami.com blog. If you just go to the video classes page, I have a listing up there. I think I did an awesome stamp job on that bottom snowflake because it doesn't seem to be holding the powder right there, but that's okay. You guys get the idea, right? I'm going to roll with it anyway. So what I just did here was I took white embossed powder, poured it over the top, and I'm going to use the embossing tool. What the heck? Oh. Did anybody see that? I didn't even pour it on the tag. I just poured the tag. I almost poured the tag right back in the jar. I meant to do them both at the same time. So I've stamped with Versamark. I've poured the white embossing powder over both pieces this time. Now we're going to do some heat embossing. Let's try that one again. All right, and I am going to use my little take your pick tool to hold this down. So I just got a silicone mat underneath here to protect the workspace. Do you want me to zoom in a little bit so you can see that? We are a little bit out farther. And embossing is just so cool to see, especially if you're new. This is like a wow. It melts the powder and it just makes it really cool. Puffs up. This heat tool, it heats up, but it doesn't blow the air really hard, so it's not blowing the powder off of the page. It sounds like a hairdryer, but it's not really. So, the white isn't, it's not as easy to see where it's melted as like a gold or a silver would be. There we go. Oh, that's so much nicer. And like, it didn't seem like it was... I guess it just wanted me to hold it. Some things just, you know, they want to be handheld. There, now we have some very, very striking white snowflakes. Now this guy I am going to put down because I don't want to burn my fingers. Because this, like I said, does get hot. See that? Isn't that awesome? See the difference right there? The melted, unmelted. So cool. Okay. So next I'm going to take a little piece of vellum cardstock, and this is the pine tree punch. Let's just punch that out. And this came in the paper pumpkin kit. Now for my alternates, because we didn't really have anything equivalent to this adorable little cardinal bird, I recommend if you were doing projects here and you didn't have these, the little, they're copper stars, the embellishments, gold, I think maybe they're gold. Anyways, they look really cute on top of the trees, and they give it just a little bit of punch. So now we just have assembly on this card. So I'm using a little snail adhesive on that keeps it flat. And then I'm going to take Stampin' Dimensionals to pop up the card. Oh, the base on the card. Spit that one out, Tammy. All right. I feel like I need to hire an assistant just to peel off the backings of the dimensionals while I'm going here. And then we're going to pop that up there. And then this guy, now vellum, when you're putting adhesive on it, just make a note. You want to put it somewhere where it's not going to be seen, somewhere where it's not going to show, because vellum is see-through and you will see it through the vellum. Come on. There we go. So I just put a couple mini glue dots just on the bottom part of this tree, and I'm going to slide that underneath the tag. And then, last but not least, this adorable little cardinal. Oops. Come on, little buddy. I like to stick things right to the glue dot on the, well, it's still on the roll so that it doesn't stick to your finger. Oops. We don't need spatula yet. That's for when you make mistakes. This is your little take your pick tool. It's like a little Swiss Army knife. You can interchange things. So we have card number 1 all ready to go, and that is from the October Winterwoods Paper Pumpkin Kit. But if you don't have the kit or ran out, again, substitutions are listed on that free PDF on the blog. All right, next up, it's time to play with the Mercury glass. All right, so Mercury glass is, this is acetate. And we sell it in, I have it in my online store. Stampin' Up! Does sell this. It comes in a pack of 4. There's 2 of each sheets and there's 2 different designs. I'm not sure how well you can see that design here because it does kind of blend. Can you see that okay? That looks like you can see it right here. It's acetate, so you can see through it, but it's got some cool, cool designs on it. I'm using this one because it reminded me a little bit of a snowstorm. Now on this card, I took the trees that are in the Paper Pumpkin Kit, and they're shimmery. Can you see the shimmer on the camera? It's very, very shimmery. It just adds a little punch to your card. I love that. I mean, it's supposed to look like a snowstorm, right? So it looks like snow. I also took from the, and so this is a set here, the Winterwoods. Oops, I got these backwards. Sorry, wrong one. Hold, please. These are the dies. So these Winterwoods here is a stamp set. I didn't actually use the stamp set on this one. I just used the dies. They do coordinate together, and that's why I wanted to bring the stamp set out, just to show you that you can punch out the tree here. You can punch out the pine boughs and the pine cones with these dies. But what I used here was this tree right here. It's got some branches that are just cut out that look really, really cool. So this is the In the Woods dies. And coincidentally, this is Winterwoods stamp set, not related to the Winterwoods Paper Pumpkin Kit, but they do go together. They do coordinate together. And maybe that's why they're called Winterwoods. So I used the Big Shot and I cut that out of Shimmer White so it matched our background here. And then I pre-cut the Mercury glass right out of that acetate. It's like a window sheet here. Both sides are pretty similar. One's just a little glossier than the other. So we'll start by assembling that one. Now that I'm going to assemble, I'm going to put right over the pool party background. And because it's so busy, I mean, with window sheets, just like vellum, you can see the adhesive through it, but because this pattern is so busy, whoops. Hey, not yet. It's okay. I found that you really didn't see it at all. So that just attaches to the front of our card base. So we've got a little snowstorm there with that Mercury glass on the front. Now, I'm going to attach this with snail adhesive, but if you wanted a little pop, you could put it on with the mini dimensionals, just like we did with the original card, and it would pop up and look very, very cool. But I'm just going to go ahead and put it on with snail because I want that tree to stand out, and I'm going to pop that up. So we've got some Stampin' Snail. I'm going to rename it. I was going to say dimensionals, but I'm not putting dimensionals on here. I'm going flat on this one. There we go. So we've got our little snowstorm going on there. And we've got our trees standing in front of the snowstorm. Now this tree I'm going to pop up in front, you know, because it's like a little blizzard, but I want this tree to stand out. So I'm popping that up with dimensionals. So that kind of pops up and stands out on there. And then last but not least, I took one of those cute little cardinal birds from the kit. And again, if you didn't have those gold star embellishments look really good on the tree too. It gives it a little pop. Oh, thanks, Vivian. She says the card is gorgeous. I love this Mercury glass, but it really looks good here as a little snowstorm. So I'm just sticking one of those cardinals to a mini glue dot. And we're going to go ahead and stick that on our tree because that gives it just a little pop of color. So we've got this snowstorm going on here with that acetate that just jumps out at you. And then we've got a little pop of color here with our cardinal that just makes it jump off. Okay, so this is Mercury glass that we're playing with here. It is available in the online store. And if you missed I showed both patterns, you can go back and rewind later. Okay, now the final card we're going to make is the snow globe, because I love the snow globe. I'm just going to make this one. This is coming right from the kit. This is my alternate to the alternate. So this is an alternate to the kit, and then I have an alternate to the alternate because the kits are no longer available. So I'll just show you what I used. I've got the Still Scenes stamp set here. I used Season's Greetings to emboss on this one. I'm not going to emboss on the one we're making today, but you would heat emboss it the same way that we just did the white. And these are the dies. I pre-cut out the dies just to kind of show them because I think they show better here. This cuts out this house, in case you were wondering what that blob was. It's actually the house shape here. So for my alternate to the alternate, I cut out the deer and placed it here, and I used the Frosted Foliage Designer Series paper because the paper that I'm using on this one came from the kit. It's actually, I'll show you what it is in a minute. But if you didn't have that or ran out, you could get this frosted, look how beautiful this is. Frosted Foliage Designer Series paper, and this is the one I used. I'll show you what I did here. From my alternate to the alternate, I took this sheet and I used the snow globe, and I cut out the trees right there for that, to go right behind him. There was also another pattern in there that looked really cool, and it was this one. So I thought this would look really cute in there too. And you could substitute that deer for any animal. So this is my alternate to the alternate if you don't have the kit available. We're going to go ahead and start creating with the kit. So I've pre-cut some of the pieces for us. And that is these. I'm using silver foil here. I saved this cool outline here to actually show you how I did it. So I'm going to grab the Big Shot or any die cut machine. And I'm going to take that silver foil, and we're going to use for this portion, I'm going to use both the layering circles die and the stitch circles dies. So I'm going to start with the stitch circles, and we're going to cut out the largest circle from just a scrap of silver foil. Aw, thanks you guys. I'm glad you love the cards. I had a lot of fun making them. I did have some inspiration. Don't forget to go check that out. It's on my blog. And now this one. Whoop, didn't want to come out there. Okay, so I'm not done with that. Next, we're going to take the layering circles, and it's the second largest circle. Straight, you know, this, not the scallop circle, but the regular circle. And we're going to place that. Actually, was that it? You know what? That's not it. Sorry, it's third largest. My bad. Third largest. Let's try that again. And that goes right in the middle. Like so. And you know what? If you're like me and you have this guy moving around a little bit, here's a tip. Even though I am on a magnetic platform, it's still doing it. It happens sometimes. Post-it note, washi tape, hold it in place, and we're good. Okay, so what this did, I can't get it off with my nails. There we go. It cut this ring. So this ring is going to go around our snow globe. Super cool, right? It's got a little stitching on it. Now, this we're not going to use this circle, so you can save that for another project. Save your scraps. Okay, so now we've got our Big Shot pieces. And we are going to put together our, oh, you know what? I'm not done. I'm not done. My bad. Okay, so this, I just showed you the frosted foliage that I put in the alternate to the alternate. This is what I used in this actual snow globe. I actually used the front of the card. Now we've already taken the envelope apart, right? To use for another piece of the project. So this time we're going to use the actual card. And I'm going to take those snow globes. I'm going to take this piece to cut that out so that it fits perfectly inside there. Bring that right back over here to the table. We're not done with you. So I cut it right about here. What's on the inside is what's going to show inside the snow globe. And take a Boasty to hold that down again. And we'll cut that out. And so you either have a window card here or you can use the scraps for that for something else. And we have our trees ready for our card. Now it's time for some assembly. So since we assembled card number 1 and this card is going to be assembled exactly the same, I just pre-assembled it for us just to save a little time there. I'm going to put this in the middle. Now, if I was going to emboss words on the bottom, for example, on this one, I embossed these words on the bottom. I want my snow globe to go as close to the top as possible. But since we're not doing that on this one, I'm just going to put it right in the middle. Well, I mean, the top needs to go a little bit to the top, but sort of in the middle. I don't think that was really in the middle. Do you? Do you guys think that was centered? That looks better. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and attach. Now I pre-cut these from that from silver foil from the snow globe die. I'm going to go ahead and attach them together. If you have fine tip blue pen, that would be a great choice right now. Tombow liquid glue is also good, or if you're like me and just love snail, you might be slightly addicted to it, just make sure that you poke out any adhesive that might show through there. Get a little backing showing through there. And that gives us our ornate design that we're going to use for the bottom. We're not going to actually put that on yet, though, because we're going to put this on first. Actually, we're not even going to put that on yet because these are so cool. We're going to put one of these cool little snow globe cups on. How friggin' cool is this? Rita, you're asking a question that I can only see. You want to use the snow globe, and it's got like little slashes on it, shadow slashes. So I can't read the rest of that because it kind of got a ... more. So I don't know what the rest of that question was, but I'm thinking maybe you wanted to use it without those slashes. And if that's the case, use a marker around the edge to color it instead of inking it in an ink pad, and that will eliminate those slashes if you just wanted the edge without it. All right, so I just peeled the backing. It's just got backing on the front and the back. I just peeled the backing off. Somebody else mentioned they had a hard time with this, getting the getting your sequins or confetti on the inside. These are snowflake sequins. I'm going to show you just a little tip here. Also, if you have the kit, the snowflakes came in the kit. The snowflake sequins you can get in my online store, and they've actually got a little bit more. They've got a couple different designs in here. So go ahead and take that confetti and just pile it up there as much as you want to put in there. And I've already forgot a step here because we want to put a cardinal on that tree, right? We don't want it to be plain. We've got cardinals on everything, right? All right, so actually let's go ahead and put a couple cardinals on there. I can still do it though. We're still good. All right, so we got mini glue dots coming. Gonna go ahead and stick that cardinal, or both cardinals, to mini glue dots while they're still on the roll. Oh my goodness, these cardinals are just ornery. Is that a word, ornery or ornery? Ornery is the word, right? So go ahead and stick those to the glue dot, and then we'll stick one top of our tree. Ooh. I gotta twist that in so it stops doing that. Sometimes I get lazy because I interchange the pieces so often that I don't actually twist it. I just throw them in there. And then number 2, I'm gonna put him in the same tree, but just a little bit lower so he stands out there. Okay, so now we've got our 2 cardinals on the tree. I would probably put the cardinals on before I put the confetti. You could wipe the slashes before inking, Georgia, but the problem with that is if you don't get them perfect, you're still going to get a little bit of a shadow on there. Yeah, I like the lines too, but maybe they don't go with the particular project that Rita was making. So that would be a suggestion if that was the case. Okay, so I feel like I put this too close to the top. Well, I can't really move them too well, so I'm just going to go with it. All right, so now I've already taken the protective backing off the back of this. All of the sequins are piled in the middle. Go ahead and stick that on. Oh, that wasn't so bad about him being, that cardinal being on top. He fits there perfectly. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I found that take your pick, the pointy end of the take your pick tool works really good. Okay, so now we're going to peel off the protective backing on the top of that. And the ring that we created, we are going to take some paper snips and we are going to cut a little section out of that so that we're going to make it part of this snow globe. I'm going to stick snail adhesive on the back of this. I don't need to put snail on it, do I? Because we already have adhesive on the top of this. Never mind. Disregard. This already has adhesive on it, so I don't actually... This is how much I love my snail, right? I'm just going to use it on everything. Okay, so you want to be careful in putting this down. Only because the shape that we are putting it down on is slightly different than a circle. It's a little off. So you just want to start at the top and just press it down like so, and it will bend into place without, oops. And that's exactly what I didn't want to do right there. Let's see if I can get that up. I might need the spatula in for that one. Otherwise, I'm just rolling with it. But you see how that just went up on the side of the snow globe? Yeah, we're just rolling with that one. So just be careful to press it straight down so that you don't get that little edge right there. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything if you do get it, but just to try to avoid it. All right, so the last piece here is to attach this. And I attach that piece with some Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up. There we go. And actually, I do have a little room down there to put some words in there if I wanted to. Okay, so our snow globe is complete. I hope that was an easier way to put the sequins on there. Whoever was having a hard time with the sequins, just to get them in there. We've got a cute little shaker card. Again, this is an alternate to the alternate using the Frosted Foliage Designer paper and the deer from the In the Woods stamp set, and I actually embossed there. And this is Petal Promenade Designer Series paper on the back. And this was a class that I did at Halloween time. Very similar. It's got the cat inside, but instead of a snow globe, this is like a crystal ball, turning a snow globe into a crystal ball. But that just gives you some uses, and you can catch this video by clicking on the resource page or going to stampwithtami.com and clicking on video classes, and you'll see that there. All right, so this concludes today's class. These are the cards that we made today. And we'll pull out this is the alternate to the alternate in case you didn't have that kit. And again, you can get that free PDF by clicking on the link in this video's description and downloading it there. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me today.